Okay guys, welcome back. So we've went through a lot of different testing scenarios with Mac today, and it's time to dig into your game a little bit more, be a little bit more inquisitive about what's in your bag. You have one club in your bag that you always say you'll never change, you love it, it's your favorite club, and it's your 3-wood.
Yeah, so I've had it, a friend of mine gave it to me, would have been 12 years ago probably now at least, like when I was just starting out in golf with just a stock shaft in it. So this one's seen a few now, but it's the old Tour Edge Exotics XCB. I just kind of fits its purpose in the bag, and I can't see myself getting rid of it.
Yeah, I think when you have a club that's been in the bag that long, I mean, your delivery and the club sort of mesh together, right? You deliver the club in a way that works for that club, and over time you make it work. And the way you deliver it as well is, I mean, you know how to take spin off of it, you know how to add spin, you know how to hit every shot that you like to hit with it. And the question is, why are we even thinking about changing it then if it still does? And the answer is, no club lasts forever. It could be tomorrow that you know, you're hitting, you know, a stinger with it or something, and you know, the cup face technology that's on those old XCGs, it just caves in, and where you left from there. So we're going to see if some of this new tech is going to give you anything that you don't currently have. So why don't we hit a few shots? Let's kind of run it through the repertoire of what you like to see on the golf course, and get a baseline. Is there anything you can think of that this club doesn't do that you would like it to? Is there any scenario where it's not ideal?
Honestly, like it kind of covers or checks all the boxes for me. My big place for a 3-wood's important is coming into a par 5 where I have to land it soft, bring it up from pretty high up and land it like an iron. And I find that a lot of the newer 3-woods that I've tried, I have a hard time taking it off speed and making it land on a green and hold. So that's what I love about this one, is that I can manipulate a lot of different shot shapes with it. I can hit it low, high, left, right, doesn't really matter. So it kind of checks all the boxes.
Love it. Guys, dive into the specs. 43 inches, it is a 3-wood, 15 degrees. It is a D3 swing weight. Oban Kyoshi Purple, 8505. The Oban Kyoshi Purple is a very tip soft, great for someone who maybe hits up on the driver a little bit and wants to kind of make sure they kind of keep the launch conditions nice and high, keep the spin on it. And also for fairway woods, for somebody who's needing the fairway wood head to kick a little bit more. That's the characteristics of the Kyoshi Purple. You use your +4 grip. Is that built up at all? Is it any bigger?
Yeah, it's built up a few wraps. I think it's, I want to say it's 4 extra wraps.
Okay.
And then I think I have 2 extra on the bottom hand as well. So I
got
build it up quite a bit.
A fair bit, yeah. So the +4, +2 in the bottom, +4 overall. So we're kind of got 4 and 6 almost there in total. Love it. Okay, show us a few of these stock ones, Mac. 260, you said. Let's move the green.
Yeah,
to
so
that.
if I was going into a green par 5, I can get more out of it when I need to. But if I'm using it for a purpose, then it's kind of that 260 yardage where I'm just trying to hit like a high cut in there.
All right, 260 yards. Let's see what it's got.
It's a bit heely.
Okay.
I say the miss hit would be, it spins up. So if I do miss hit it,
yep,
I will find the odd one that kicks up spin and I lose a lot of distance.
Love it. That was flushed. That'll work on the par 5s. I mean,
that'd be pretty close.
Hard to get it to look any better than that. Strike is really good with this one, so we know you time it well. Coming in at 46 degrees, guys, that's where I'd like most people's, you know, 7-8 iron to be coming in on those types of angles of descent. You got the launch up there, you kept the spin down. Give me 2 more, and then I'm going to show you something that I think we can kind of chase after to get some improvements. Really nice again. One hopping on. Yeah, so definitely when you go after the cut, if the strike strays heel side, which it looks like it can at times with this club, there's no doubt about it, that spin will kick up a little bit. There's the strike sort of living in there. 23 degrees of delivered loft. We saw you hitting draw 9 irons earlier on that had 24 degrees of delivered loft. So it kind of does tell us where the weaknesses lie. We always talk about compound errors. When we compound a heel strike, even a low heel strike in a high dynamic loft, we're going to have some issues. Cup face technology was very revolutionary at that time. Companies still using cup face technology now. You do play TaylorMade clubs. You're not a staffer by any means, but they're
Yeah, I've always TaylorMade
you.
metal woods are something I find that I love the look of and kind of love the feel of. So
Yeah.
I kind of steer towards them every single time, and I definitely love the feel of them. So
For sure. So when you do miss it in that kind of heel section, even the low section, as somebody who hits up on the ball, so your club is literally on the rise as it hits the ball, the likelihood is you're going to hit it a little bit lower portion of the head. The speed pocket is going to be a significant technology for you in that part. So allowing the face to flex a little bit more, contribute a little bit more towards the ball speed, and get that up from 155 up to probably around 158 to 160. We can see you're a little bit down on the efficiency there.
yeah.
So that's definitely some of the low-hanging fruit. Standard deviation on spin is a little on the high side too. So downwind, no wind, I can see why you love it. Into a bit of a headwind, unless you're really turning one back into it, I can see why maybe it is a bit of a struggle. Okay, so first one we've built, Mac, is the new Stealth Plus. The adjustability, just to give us the options, just to see exactly where we need the loft to be to fine-tune it a little bit. We've got the Graphite Design IZ7X. Again, just a nice baseline, very stable shaft, a bit stiffer than what you've got right now. See if we can minimize that upward deflection of the dynamic loft. Keep that down and control that spin rate a little bit.
Sure.
Okay, so lots of people going, wow, impressive. But that's kind of not what you want your fairway wood to do, is it?
No, so that's my biggest thing that I noticed with newer stuff is I know I caught that one in the toe, so it probably killed some spin a little bit, but just low spin, lower launch, just comes out and doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Which is why I would take a spinny miss hit over that any day of the week.
All day. I mean, flying at 280 is great, but those launch conditions would be really nice if we were looking at them as an off the tee club, not really a 260 into the green sort of club. So let's set a couple more.
Still going up when it gets to that green.
Okay, so faster, very good on launch, a little too low in spin. Let's look at the club delivery. Yeah, we got that dynamic loft down 3 degrees. Strike is in a pretty good spot. Angle attack moved up slightly, interesting. So that's lost as a degree in the spin loft. Okay, yeah, it's a recipe for a high launch, low spin fairway wood. It's not really what you need. It's not really what you want. Okay, so we've moved away from the adjustable plus. I think just the amount of weight that we've got in that sole plate. It's titanium head. It's really hot. It's really low CG. We're going to try and move away from those characteristics a little bit. Moving to the standard Stealth is a bigger footprint, so the CG is back from the head a little bit. So that should help us with the added dynamic loft. Closer.
Yeah, I mishit it a bit, but I mean, I would take
So
that. I would take that miss.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love that if that's what a miss looks like.
Yeah,
there we
low.
go.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you missed it exactly like we talked about with your one. We thought we could get you missing it into the same part of the head, getting a much, much better result. So kick the spin back into the nice window. We get the 5 miles an hour extra. That's the speed pocket that we talked about at the start. You've got a little bit more of that distance retention. Love that. Fraction behind it with the strike, so that drops the spin. Okay. Pretty good though. So slightly out the toe. So give me, let's see, club delivery wise. Your delivery looks ever so slightly different than when you were hitting yours, mostly on path.
Path, okay.
Right, so.
More out to
Yeah, a little more out to in with yours, with this one, just to match yours.
Sure.
Okay, 2 more. How does this feel?
It feels great.
That's money. So this is your fairway wood on steroids, basically, you know,
Right.
or has the ability to be, you know, a little jacked up. What I love about it is now the control of the standard deviation. If we look at the ball speed control, launch control, and spin control, ultimately the carry distance control, which is what we really want. We don't want that fluctuation of distance. That's where this one really wins for me. I think 3,800 was a little too high. 3,000 is really, really nice. You can kick that spin up a little bit. I know you can kick it
Yeah, I
another
could definitely
1,000 should you
hit
need
down more
to.
on it. Yeah, definitely.
But as a baseline golf club, this to me is in a really, really nice window.
Yeah, it feels really good.
Love that as well.
The center definitely caught the middle of it.
Middle of it, we were just diming the middle. I mean, the first one we really liked seeing what a miss looked like. Fine. After that, it was target practice in the middle of the club.
Yeah, especially now, like my goal is, most people don't want to hit in the heel, but I kind of do want to hit it in the heel. That's kind of where I want to miss now, because generally my miss is a little bit better with it. So if it can still perform well with that heel strike, that's definitely a check that I need to tick.
Absolutely love it. Much more like the delivery you done first time around, with the lower dynamic loft, which is excellent. So that's where the additional efficiency comes from. Okay, let's throw one more shaft on there. Going to be hard to beat that one though. Yeah. That's looking really nice. When it comes to shafts, how would you describe the feel that you like on a shaft? When you try one you like versus one you don't like?
It's just that terrible. I can't tell the
You
difference.
don't feel it?
You could give me pretty much
awesome.
anything. I don't.
A
I
lot of people say
really
that.
struggle
Yeah.
with driver. I can tell if it's like if it's too like I lose the face, but I find as soon as we get into like irons and stuff, you give me a regular shaft and I'd be able to make it work, kind of thing. So I'm not like overly concerned about how it feels.
Let's see, VA Villain, a little bit soft on the handle. Normally a shaft people say feels very good, but it's a little bit stiffer in the tip section. So let's see what this does. That one sounds a bit better than the first one.
Yeah, they're both a little bit
A little behind it.
slightly behind it, which again is a tendency of me being slightly up on it. I'd say it's.
Yeah.
I will occasionally hit like a drop kick cut like that. That kind of I get away with, but it's.
That was nice.
Yeah, that was definitely close to the flight that I'd like to see with it.
Yeah.
And the spin, I mean, I guess my spin window for me is like, I like that 3,000 or just
Yeah.
above 3,000. I'd say I don't like when it drops under that for me because I find that it just
Knuckles.
shoots. Yeah.
You're very fast, right? So 161 ball speed, 140 peak height. So we do need the launch and spin to manage the angle of descent to make sure this thing is going to be good for you coming in, you know, nice and soft. Let's do 2 more.
Losing it.
Yeah, so immediately the strikes weren't quite as good with this one. You hit a really nice one, but it's not quite there. I'm going to go back to the previous one. Much preferred your dispersion with the Matori F3.
I'm okay with that. Like, for me, I want to miss left pin high is like somewhere where I kind of want to see it go, not right or super spinny and short.
Flushed it. Absolutely flushed it. I think we've got a winner.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can tell in the miss hits, which I think is my big thing. When I hit the middle, that one's going to perform, but
Yeah.
I find on the miss hits, the spin's still keeping down enough where I could still get something out of it. Not hitting it right, which is a huge check mark for me.
Definitely. Really impressive seeing how you were able to manage your launch, spin, and speed. I mean, that's a sign, really, if you can manage those to tight standard deviation, it's a sign that we're striking it in the right spot and we're managing the loft. So as long as we're doing that sort of stuff, we are going to be getting very, very consistent numbers. There's literally nothing that I'd want to change about that. It was excellent. So the one thing I'm going to recommend that's a little bit different, to go half-inch short. So I just got this to go a little bit shorter. I want the shaft to be a little bit more vertical, so it allows you to get steeper. So at times if you do default to that little bit of a kind of almost a slide in, you've got a little bit of room for error. The long 3-wood, I think, could cause you to drop kick a few and knuckle it. So going a little bit shorter will just get you a little steeper.
Yeah, I think and I choke up on mine a little bit if I have to, if I kind of feel like I want to cut one, that's what I do, so I don't drop kick. Yeah, just to give it that little room. So.
And you've got plenty of horsepower. I don't think for a second you'll lose any real speed out of it. I just think it will lean more in towards the shot shape we're trying to get.
For sure.
Very cool. That was easy.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you make it easy on me. So, guys, that was a Stealth, the bonded version with F3, the softer of the two Fujikura Motoris. Really good in fairways. Again, talk about the Oban Kyoshi, purple being a bit of a legendary fairway wood shaft. F3 was the stock fairway wood shaft, actually from TaylorMade back in the R9 days. F1 was the driver shaft, the much more tip stiff version, which is again more suited to the larger head, minimizing that deflection both downward and forward. So F3, we want to encourage a little bit more of that deflection, so that's why it lends itself much more towards being a nice fairway wood shaft. And I think we'll get a good chance to see this one in the course.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I could get a lot out of it if I wanted to hit
a ton
more of the left to right and turn it over. It could probably still get out there as far as anything, really.
You could, for sure. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind if you turned and get that going the other way. Some of those bombs that we saw you hitting with Stealth Plus, I mean, you could go back to that 280, 285, and the last one there we flew 274. Again, but we're just so regulated in that 160, 161 ball speed. It's just really, really impressive. Really, what I want to see. No guesswork. No surprises from our golf clubs. They just perform as they're intended.
Yeah, definitely.
Love it. Great job. Okay, guys, we're going to have some fun with Mac this summer. We're going to get out and play some golf with them. We're going to get out to some courses. We've been doing a lot of different shot shaping videos today. We're fun to do a little fit video, and I want to see how this 3-wood now works in the field once we get out there.
Cool.
Great stuff. Okay, stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.